Look how stunning that is. It's just so incredible. Guys, welcome back to the Clean Beauty Code. I'm so excited for this video because we're talking sale. We are talking the Credo Beauty sale that they have coming up. And so I thought I would do my recommendations. We're talking all makeup, we're talking some hair, we're talking some fragrance. I know I'll get a lot of questions about fragrance, so we're talking about fragrance in this video, and I'm so excited to jump in. My cart is already stacked, ready for the sale, and I'm really excited because I have a bunch of things that I've had my eye on that now I'm like, okay, sale's happening, I have to go buy all the stuff. So anyways, I want to just jump into the video and get started. So if you're excited for this video and more videos like this, then please like and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below on what other sale videos you want to see from me. Definitely going to be doing a Sephora video, but I don't know if there are other sales that you're like, hey, can you talk about this? What would you recommend? Let me know down below. And without further ado, let's get into this Credo Beauty sale recommendations video. Sale recommendations, let's jump right in. I'm really excited. So first things first, we're going to talk brows. Now, my favorite brow pencil that is just the creme de la creme is the Westman Atelier brow pencil. I am such a big fan of this. So this isn't a super pinpointy brow pencil, even though you can kind of pinpoint with the end here. It is a brow pencil that I think will suit people that do have kind of bigger brows. Let's see, maybe I can fill in right here because my scar is popping out. Let's fill in right there. Look how good that filled it in. It is so good. It's so long wearing. It is so long lasting. I'm a really big fan. It has a spoolie on the end. I talk about this a ton on my channel, so this isn't news or surprising to anyone, but I'm a really big fan of this. Then for a brow gel, it's the Tude brow soap every single time. It is so good. So this is incredible. It's a brow soap. The way I like to use this is I like to wet a spoolie, either spray it or just, I don't know, dip it in the sink even, and rub here and then gel my brows up, and they last all day. This is an incredible product, and it's so much. I've had this for a really long time now, and I feel like I've barely made a dent, and I use this constantly. This is a really good product, and I know not everyone's gonna love it because it's not just like an ease of just, you kind of have to do a little work to get the product in, but I swear it's worth it. It is so good. And we're gonna move on to complexion, and I have a couple of items just in case you have different preferences or whatever. So for foundation, this is the one I'm recommending, the Exa Beauty foundation. This is incredible. I wear the shade 220 Rebecca. This is such a beautiful foundation. It has such a nice, beautiful, natural finish on the face. It wears so long. It's such a comfortable wear. The coverage is great. You get really nice medium coverage with this. I just love this, and it's one that I've repurchased and will continue to repurchase. I'm a really big fan of this. Then we have more skin tinty type items, and the first one is this one from Tower 28. This is their tinted sunscreen. I love this. I have two shades. I have the shade 40 Runyon and 45 Silver Lake. It kind of depends on the time of year. When it's more winter time, I tend to be 40 Runyon a little bit more, but it honestly depends. A lot of the time I'll just mix the two, but it's really nice. The way it wears is beautiful. The finish that it gives your face is beautiful. The coverage is really nice. You can kind of get your medium coverage with this. It doesn't look makeupy on the skin, which is incredible. I am a really big fan of this. I mean, I know if you've been on this channel before, you know I love this, and I feel like no one's shocked that I recommended this. This is a really nice go-to product, and I feel like in summer specifically, but you should be wearing sunscreen year-round. This is something that, like, a tinted sunscreen is just, it's unmatched. I love a tinted sunscreen, and you just have that extra security, you know? Who's want to get sun damage? Not me, and all the other negative things that come with sunburns. Anyways, next we have another skin tint, and I feel like no one's shocked by this. It is this one from Westman Atelier. This is their complexion drops. I am such a big fan of this product. If you have oily skin, this might not be for you, even though I do have a really oily T-zone and it works for me. I just make sure to set my T-zone because where I get oily, I just want to set anyways. But I love this. It melts into the skin. It feels like skincare, which is incredible. I love Westman Atelier products because they feel like skincare. This is no exception. This feels like skincare, wears like skincare. It just melts into the skin, and I mean, it looks incredible. Every time I wear this, I always get told that my skin looks really, really healthy and really good. I actually wore it this past weekend, and I was hanging out with my girlfriends, and one of my friends was like, okay, your skin looks amazing. And I was like, oh, I got some coverage. Now I want to move on to concealer. The first one I want to recommend is actually a color corrector. And it is this one here from Exa Beauty. I love this. When this was sold out, and this was sold out for a while, I was fighting for my life to get my hands on the peach because I already had the orange. Loved her. And I wanted something that was a little bit more of a peachy shade for different kind of discoloration that I was kind of trying to combat, especially under my eyes or even around my face. So I got both of these. They're incredible. What I love about this is the dry down. It dries down and it doesn't move, and it's so lightweight, and you don't notice that you're wearing it. And it does such an incredible job of covering up the darkness you want to cover or the marks you want to cover, whatever it is. It does such an incredible job, and it plays so well with every skin tint, foundation, anything, or even other concealer that I've put on top of it. It plays so well. This is so incredible, and I do believe all the shades are in stock. So run and grab these, because if it sells out again, it sold out. I swear it was sold out for like 6 months or something bananas. So definitely get your hands on it before it sells out again. Then for under eye concealer and just kind of pinpointing, concealing around the face. The first one I want to talk about is this one here. This one is from Iris and Romeo. This is an incredible concealer. I've talked about this a million times. This one's the shade 5. My true shade is the shade 7, and I also have the shade 6, and I also have the shade 5. 5 is just exclusively for right here when I need a touch extra really, really brightness, but it's amazing. It does not crease. And I know that sounds crazy. I know what I'm saying sounds insane, because you're like, honey, no, it creases. It does not crease. And the amount of you that have messaged me or even commented on videos, you can probably find the comments in videos where you're like, it really doesn't crease, makes me so happy, because you have to try it to believe. Like, you got to try it out. Even just go test it out and just see. But it is incredible. I'm such a big fan. I mean, I love Iris and Romeo in general as a brand, but their concealer is by far the standout from that brand for me. This is incredible. And then next up, we have this one. This is the Westman Atelier concealer. This is a beautiful concealer. A very little bit of this goes a long way. I really like blending with my fingers or with a brush, even a sponge, but I do prefer a brush with this formula. It's a really comfortable wear. I will say the undertones of the Westman Atelier concealer, surprisingly to me, were a little bit harder to pick shades with. So if you can go and pick a shade in person, I would definitely recommend that, because I did struggle picking a shade, and I feel like every single time I have 2 of these, because the first time I was like, oh, that shade's crazy, and then I got another one and it's just a little bit too warm. So for me, I feel like I would prefer if they had a few more neutrals in the range. However, the formula is beautiful, and if you can find a shade that works for you, it's great. Because it does look like the middle shades kind of skew a little bit warm to me, but that's just to me. Anyways, I digress. Now we're going to move on to more highlighty items. First one we're going to talk about, no one's shocked by this. If you're shocked by this, you must be new here. The Westman Atelier, their illuminating drops. I love these. They're the only thing I'm wearing on my face today, minus the under eye concealer. I did a mix of both of these. I have the shade Pot de Pêche and Pot de Soleil. I did a little mixy poo of the two, and I put it on my face, and I just feel like my skin looks incredible. Sometimes I'll just wear them on their own. Sometimes I'll mix them with foundation skin tints. Sometimes I'll even mix them with like face creams or just wear them as highlight and not kind of wear them all over the face. These are incredible, and by far of all the kind of illuminator products that I've tried, these are my like just incredible favorites, and they're definitely worth getting in the sale. They're so incredible, and they have more of a serum-y feeling than, let's say, the Kosas one that everybody loves, and they again feel like skincare. They're just incredible. I'm obsessed, and I have an oily T-zone. I've been wearing this makeup for probably been about 4 hours now, and my skin, I haven't repowdered or anything, and my skin looks incredible. I'm a really big fan of these. And then for a more highlighty item, one that really surprised me, this highlighter stick from Rowan Beauty. I believe it's called their Row Glow. Nailed it. Their Row Glow. And I have the shade Glaze. They also have a more like bronzy color. This is the shade Glaze, and I know you're like, girl, that looks banaise, which it does kind of look banaise. But then I go like this, and then I apply it. I'm actually wearing it on the high points of my cheeks today, but let's apply a little bit more. Look how stunning that is. It's just so incredible. And it just melts into the skin, and kind of doing this and then applying it, that weird white, like overly pearlescent look does not, I mean, look at that. Look how good that is. It's incredible, and it lasts really long on the face. It wears really nicely. It isn't super slippy, but it has just enough slip that when you apply it, it isn't dry feeling, if that makes sense. It is, I am a really big fan. And at first I was really nervous when I opened this, because the shade Glazed is, look how white that is. I was like, okay, that could have been a mistake. But then when I kind of footled with it, I was like, oh, but when you warm it up with your hands, it's absolutely stunning. Now we're moving on to bronzers. And I have two. So the first one is kind of a contour, but also a bronzer. And this one from Westman Atelier is amazing. They also have minis if you don't want to go full send and get a full one. Very little bit of this goes a long way, so I don't really feel like a big one is necessary. But I really like this. I also have a mini of the shade Biscuit. The one that I have here that's my most used is the shade Truffle, and I use this all over my face, kind of more as a bronzer, but it is incredible. The finish is beautiful. It's a natural finish. It doesn't have too much slip to it. It blends into the skin really beautifully. This is a really nice product. I am a very big fan, and I use it also, you know, pull it down the sides of my nose. I use it all over my lid. I actually have it as a base underneath the eyeshadow I'm wearing, which I'll talk about in a little bit. It is great. I mean, I'm wearing it on my face today. It gives me warmth without doing too much. I know they have more shades now than they did in the past, which is great, because I think there were 2 in the past. See, no, we need so many shades, so I'm really glad that they expanded it, and it looks like their minis are available in all the shades too, which is great. Now we're gonna move on to one that is so popular. I know so many people love it, and it is from LYS Beauty, and this is their bronzer stick. Now I also love their powder bronzer, but of the two, their bronzer stick is just incredible. It is so creamy. It is the creamiest. So I have the shade Harmony in this. Is it Harmony? Yeah, Harmony. And it just melts into the skin. It is so easy to blend. It is very pigmented. So be careful, but also it blends out really easily. So if you make a mistake, you're not trapped, if that makes sense. And it doesn't dry down super intensely. And I know it's like just one that people love. But yeah, it doesn't dry down super intensely, which means if you make a mistake and you're like, oh, whoops-a-days, you can blend it out even with your fingers. I like to use a brush with both of those and just kind of dip in. The Heavenly Luxe number 7 from IT Cosmetics is my kind of go-to bronzer brush. It is just incredible. e.l.f. has a really good alternative dupe for that brush. It is just so good. Now we're gonna move on to mascara. I have 2 mascara recommendations. One is this one. This is the Tower 28 mascara. I have the black shade, but they also have a brown. And I really like this mascara, the way that it wears, the way that I recommended it to a few people who I know have sensitive eyes, and for them, they really enjoy this, which is nice. It lasts really long. My lashes don't like fall when I wear this, I don't have like the curliest, I have a hair floating around and it's driving me bananas. Anyways, I don't feel like my lashes fall when I wear this. When I curl them, I feel like they wear really nicely. I might have like the slightest bit of falling, but it's not anything that to me is super noticeable. I really enjoy this, and I like the way that it wears on my bottom lashes, and I don't feel like it runs around my face. I have weepy eyes because I have allergies, and this year we're fighting for our lives out here with whatever I'm allergic to now. It's so intense, and I don't feel like I get like a ton of running or anything like that under my eyes, which is really nice. Now we have this one. This one is from Westman Atelier. I've used this so many times on camera. You guys know how I feel about this mascara. It is incredible. Of the two Westman Atelier mascaras, this is the one. This is the Westman Atelier I Want You mascara. This is such a beautiful formula. I love this. At first when I saw the brush, I was kind of like, okay. And then I used it and I was like, oh, okay. Love you. This is a great formula. I love the way that my lashes kind of sit all day and I don't feel like they fall. I don't feel like I have running. It's just an overall great mascara, and it is expensive. It's not as expensive as the one in the gold packaging. Gold packaging is like $58, which is bananas. This one to me is definitely, I mean, at least in my opinion, this one is better than the more expensive one. Now I want to talk powder, and the first one is this one from Tower 28. This is their new kind of newish setting powder. I love this. This is the pink shade, and it is so comfortable. It reminds me so much of the Charlotte Tilbury setting powder in just the way that it sits on my face and under eyes, and the way it feels. It is really, really nice. Again, this is the pink shade. They have a bunch of kind of shades. This is very nice, very brightening. I like it under my eyes. I even set kind of my T-zone with this, and I'm really happy with how it looks, and I don't feel like it's too bright, and I don't feel like it's too pink. It is beautiful, and I was really nervous at first to try this just because I was like, okay, when I opened it, I was like, this is very bright looking. And it is, but it gives like a nice pop without being too much. I don't know how to explain it, but it is a beautiful formula and it's nice. The only thing is it doesn't have a mirror. That doesn't bother me, but I know that does bother some people. For me, it's not a big deal that it doesn't have a mirror, because I do think it makes it, I do believe the reasoning behind brands not using mirrors is because it's kind of more earth conscious and it's easier to recycle and all of that. So. And then the next powder is so expensive. I know you can arrest me. Throw me in jail right now. Come on. Because I'm crazy. Because I bought this. And I'm going to say something crazy. I'd buy it again. This from Westman Atelier. This is their setting powder. I actually just broke it. A moment of silence for her. But I have the... oh, see, it's not like falling out too much. I have the translucent shade. I love this. I keep this in my bag. I use it all the time. I use it to touch up. It gives like such a nice blur to the skin. I actually used both of these today. I used mainly this all over my face, and then for a touch of brightness right here under my eyes, I added this powder. I love the combination of the two. They're both great. A very little bit of this powder goes a long way, and you don't need to kind of pile on the powder. Just like one little dab will do you, and then I'm good. And this is a really nice blotting powder for throughout the day. It is incredible. The only thing I will say is this compact, it's not like so heavy, but it is a little bit more on the heavy side. So when you drop it, which just happened, it will make a lot of noise. So just be warned, but it is incredible. Now we're going to move on to blush, and I have a few recommendations depending on your preference. The first one is a powder, and this one I'm obsessed with. This, one of you recommended this to me. So this one is the RMS Beauty, their Hydra Blush. You recommended specifically the shade to me, Bohemian Girl, and I'm obsessed with her, and I need to get another shade. I'm actually, you know what? I'm going to add one to cart when I get off this filming video session, because I need to grab one during the sale. But this is incredible. It's so beautiful. I'm actually wearing it on top of another one of the blushes that I'm going to talk about. It is so beautiful. It's so stunning. If you want to see it kind of on its own, I do have a full video reviewing this, but this is a beautiful formula. It is, let me just show you a little swatch. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. It's pigmented, but not too pigmented. This is one where you're not trapped, but also it's pigmented. So don't overdo it, because then you have to fix it. But it is beautiful. I mean, look how stunning that is. It is so beautiful. I am such a big fan. I do want to get one that's maybe a little bit more pinky, or one that's a little bit more mauve-y in tone, or even maybe a little bit more bronze. I don't know. I'm obsessed. This formula is just absolutely stunning. And I don't know. It's really, really good, and it sets other blushes really, really well. And I know the Kosas came out with a formula. Their formula is beautiful as well. I just prefer the RMS one. It just has a creaminess to it, and I don't know how to explain it. It is beautiful. And I know so many of you also really enjoy this formula. Now we're moving on to creams. One is going to be from Rowan Beauty. I'm actually wearing one of these on my cheeks today. So actually this shade, this is the shade Natural Rose. I love this shade. It is so beautiful. I love the way that they wear, and the fact that they have dewiness to them, but they last. So by the end of the day, I'm not like, where's my blush? However, it's not as long lasting as the one I'm about to talk about after this, but I have two shades of it. I actually think I have three. I just do not know where I put the other one. This one is the shade Sunset Coral. I feel like this shade, if you really like the Victoria's Secret kind of blush look, I feel like this shade will be really good for that. Only because I learned that, and I feel like anyone on TikTok, I feel like a lot of people on makeup TikTok probably saw this, that the blush that the makeup artist actually used, who is now the founder of RMS, she used a red blush, which I'm so surprised by that. So I feel like something corally and kind of reddy in tone would be really good for that. But this is beautiful. This is one that I grabbed a lot when it was warmer out. I'm a really big fan of these. And then we have this one, and this one is from Tower 28. I love this formula. It wears so long. It's incredible. So this is their Beach Please, and this is in the shade Magic Hour. I have a couple of other shades, but this one is my most worn. I'm obsessed with this blush. It is so good. It wears so nicely. It sits on the cheeks really nicely and just kind of melts into the skin, but also doesn't disappear. I don't know how to explain it. It's pigmented, but if you put a lot on, it's easy to kind of fix. So you're not trapped. Like when you use there's certain blushes, like the Rare Beauty blush, you're trapped, and then you're like, okay, I either have to take all my makeup off or just put a layer of foundation on top of this to fix it. This does not do that. It is great, and again, the wear is incredible. It wears all day on me. Now we're gonna move on to the eyes, and I wasn't sure, well, I knew for a fact that I was gonna recommend these palettes, but I wasn't sure if I was gonna recommend anything else, and then, you know, these palettes are just the standout for me, so I didn't feel right recommending anything else. The Rowan Beauty eyeshadow palettes, you guys, they're incredible. So I have two here. One is the Gold Lust palette. When I did look online, it didn't look like they were selling this specific palette online at Credo, but they might have it in stock in store, so I really wanted to recommend this. This is an incredible palette. The one I'm wearing on my eyes today, though, is this one. It is the Mood Forever palette, and this one is available at least online at Credo Beauty. This is so beautiful. So what I did today was I actually did a combination of this, and then this shade here. It looks so scary. I know what you're thinking. You're like, girl, but it is so, look how beautiful that is. I wasn't even looking at you. How are you going to be able to see? It is so stunning. I just, look how beautiful that is. And it looks like it would be so scary. When I first got this palette, I was like, okay, this is gonna not look good, but it looks incredible. Let me do a little swatch for you, actually. Look how beautiful that is. You know what? Let me swatch all of them while we're here. I love this formula. It is so nice. It's so creamy. And I don't know. I am such a big fan. So these are the three shades that I used today. And I did This shade here I did on top of the bronzer, and then I did this shade also on top of that to kind of get a little bit more depth in there. And then I used this shade in the corner of my eyes. I didn't use this shade today, but let's swatch this one for you because, oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. I'm obsessed with this formula. Look how pretty that shade is. Look at that. Are you joking me? It's just beautiful, and they last really nicely on the eyes. Like, they're still on by the end of the day. And for creams, that's just incredible. And for the Gold Blush palette, if they do have it in stock, I just want to point out this one, and this one, they're all the same formula. And this one is a little bit of a different formula. But, oh my God, look at that shade. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. If you can find the Gold Lust one, grab that because it's my most used. But the Mood Forever palette, I mean, look at my eyes. So easy to apply. I just apply them with my finger. They're so luxurious feeling. I feel like they feel and look so expensive. The 1111 palette is also beautiful. Their warm palette, I think it's called Warm Nudes. That's also beautiful. I haven't tried their cool toned one. However, I'm sure that's stunning as well. I'm just such a big fan, and the way that it wears, you just can't beat it. Just incredible. I should probably get this off my hands before I get it all over my sweater, but this is amazing, and I'm such a big fan. Now we're going to move on to other eye products. So we're going to talk eyeliners, and I have a few that I recommend. One I did see was sold out on the Credo Beauty website. However, if you can find it in store or it comes in stock during the sale, I wanted to make sure I mentioned this. This is the Rowan Beauty eyeliner specific to this shade, Shimmering Brown. I am obsessed with this shade. Look how beautiful that is. I hope you can see. Okay, it'd be helpful if I could get it to focus. It is just the most beautiful. I should put some on. It wears so beautifully in the waterline. It is just incredible, and the shade itself is stunning. I mean, I feel like it's been in 1,000 favorite videos since I've got my hands on it. Then next, we have this one from Kosas. I am such a big fan of their eyeshadow, or not eyeshadow, eyeliner. This is amazing. It wears so beautifully. It wears really nicely in the waterline, and if you tightline, this is a really, really easy pencil to tightline with, and it's really nice. The wear is there. It holds all day. I'm a really, really big fan of this, and what's nice is it does have a sharpener, so when the tip gets dull, you can sharpen it, which is really nice, and has a little bit of a smudger. And then one that I'm truly obsessed with. This one from Jillian Dempsey. This is an incredible eyeliner. This is in the shade deep brown, rich brown, close enough. I got it on the second try. This is amazing. This shade is absolutely stunning. The wear is beautiful. This is a great kohl eyeliner. It's really easy to tightline with. It's really easy to line your lower waterline with this. I love to do a wing with this. These two eyeliners are just amazing for doing wings with. Then next, we're gonna talk kind of lip liner, multi-liner now. This one from Tower 28, their multi-liner is incredible. I like to use it as an eyeliner. I like to, if I want to do like some freckles, this is a good one to do freckles with, even though I don't really do freckles often, but the occasional time that I've done it, this is great. This is the shade Draw Me. This is the most beautiful, I need to sharpen this, am I kidding? It's the most beautiful rich brown. I love this for a lip liner when I'm wearing a more beigey, nudie type lip. This is incredible. It wears really comfortably on the lips, on the face, and on the eyes. And this is also one that I like to do a little wing with. Now we're moving on to some hydrating lip products. The first one up is the Rowan Beauty liquid lip balms are, and I know this is dramatic, genuinely one of the greatest things I've ever put on my lips. I know that's dramatic, but it's genuinely one of the best things I've ever put on my lips in my life. They're incredible. I have so many shades. My most oh my gosh, I'm almost out. I'm going to be repurchasing this during the sale. My most repurchased shade is the shade Charlie. This is probably my 4th or 5th one of this one. But right now I'm also really loving the shade Scout, I believe it's called. Yeah, Scout. This is just, it's amazing. They It smooths out your lips. It hydrates them like nothing else I've ever used that is kind of in this liquid lip balm, tinted balm type of place. It hydrates like no other. It smooths out dusty crusties, which winter's coming, which means the dusty crusties are going to be popping up left and right. And this smooths them out. It hydrates. It's even something that I've worn. I know this is kind of crazy, but I've worn it to bed and my lips were so happy in the morning. I also have ones that are more on the shimmery side. The clear shimmery one is absolutely stunning. The 3 shades I have here, I believe this is Remy. Yeah, Remy. Then this one is Jude. Oh my eyesight, you guys. I need glasses. This one is, yeah, Jude. This is more of a warm brown tone. This one, Charlie, is like a really good Your Lips But Better shade for me. And then this one is more of a berry tone, the shade Scout. I am in love with them. Then next up we have this. I had to put something on my lips, were so dry. You know when you talk and just the lip product flies off your lips? This is from the brand Pound Cake, and this is their lip oil. I believe it's called their Equalizing Lip Oil. Lip Tone Equalizing Oil. I love this. This is the shade Browning. They also have one other shade that's a little bit more clear, but I do think it gives you a slight tone, but it's not as tinted as this. It's really nice. It's a really comfortable wear. It doesn't have like a goopiness to it, you know? It is great. It's hydrating. I'm a really big fan, and I feel like this is one that a lot of people are going to want to have in fall, winter, when it gets, again, dusty, crusty season. You hate to see it. Now I want to talk about a lipstick. It's the Kosas lipstick, but not in any shade. Okay, just one shade. I'm going to do a little swatchy put in the back of my hand for you. This shade here, the shade Vegas. It's like the perfect beigey nude shade. I'm obsessed with it. I wear with a brown lip liner. I feel like I need a brown lip liner. Not everyone's gonna need one, but I feel like without it, it's kind of giving white out on my lips a little bit, but it's literally the most perfect beigey nude that I've ever found. It's what I wore on my wedding day. I'm only saying that because I feel like when someone wears something on their wedding day, you know it's good and you know that they love the shade, and I was so unsure about finding kind of a more beigey tone for my day, and that's what I wanted. And this was kind of the perfect formula, but also shade. It has just enough pink, just enough peach, where it's not giving dead on my lips necessarily, or anything too ashy or gray looking. It is beautiful. Again, I wore it with a brown lip liner. It's really comfortable to wear, so throughout the day I wasn't like crusting and dusting everywhere. My lips weren't like peeling off. This is such a comfortable wear of a lipstick. Now I want to move on to some hair care and some fragrances. Now I don't have all of that, like everything on hand. Some stuff I have to repurchase, some I don't have right now for whatever reason, but they're incredible. First, we're talking scalp. And the first one is from Maya Chia. I've talked about this so many times at this point. You're sick of me talking about it. This is their Powerful, and I love this. This makes my scalp feel healthy. It makes my hair grow. It makes my hair feel fuller, and I don't know. I'm such a big fan. It doesn't make my scalp greasy, which is incredible, and you just kind of, you do that, then obviously, and then I just kind of massage it into my hair, and I'm good to go. And I do it when my hair is wet, so fresh out of the shower, fresh out of like freshly washed hair. And then if I want to add it throughout, you know, the days between my hair wash, I'll do that. I don't always do that. I find that using it a couple times a week works for me. Next scalp product that I want to recommend is from Reverie. It's their cake. I love that. I actually don't have that in stock right now. It's in my cart. I was waiting for a sale. It's so nice. It makes my scalp feel so comfortable. It helps my hair grow. I would say out of the two, between the Maya Chia and the Reverie cake, in terms of making my hair grow more, I would say the Maya Chia one does more for my hair growth. However, I do still get growth from the Reverie cake. And it's one of those I've used for years, and it's just really nice to have in stock. And when I run out, I repurchase it because it's so good. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of both of those scalp serums. Now I want to talk about a skincare product before we move on to fragrance. And I don't know where mine is. I think it's still in my suitcase. I just got back from a trip and I take so long to unpack. Let me know if I'm alone. It could be 100 years and I will not unpack. I don't know what my problem is, but it's the Tower 28, their SOS spray. I love that stuff. It's so good for coming back from trips or when you're on the airplane or getting off the airplane, or even if you have to wear a face mask. I know a lot of people for their jobs have to wear face masks, or just when you're feeling like you've been sweaty or it's after the gym or something, spraying that on your face, you avoid so much acne. And I also spray it on my chest sometimes when I'm feeling like, okay, I'm having a little bit of a breakout situation. I need something to kind of control what's going on. I'll use that. I've also used it on my back before when I was getting a lot of back breakouts, and it was great. I highly recommend that. And now we're going to move on to fragrance. And a large majority are from one brand because I'm obsessed. From Ellis Brooklyn. So this one's Miami Nectar. This one, I am obsessed. I go through their perfumes so quickly. So a lot of these I don't have in stock because they were more fall scents that I had that now I need to repurchase. But this was a scent that I am obsessed with. This is Miami Nectar. I do not know if they have this one at Credo online, but I do think they might have it in store. I could be wrong. I also love the scent Salt. That one. I'm obsessed with that, and it smells so good on me. Some perfumes just don't. You know how your friend will spray a perfume on themselves, and you're like, oh, that smells so good. They'll be like, oh, try it. Then you put it on yourself, and it smells like a dirty diaper, or whatever, because like the scent, it just doesn't mix well with your body chemistry. Nothing worse. Salt smells so good on me. The scent Amber is also incredible. And then another one that's kind of more of a spring summer scent, but it would be an incredible vacation scent, is the scent Florist. Now, I'm not normally, this is why I love Ellis Brooklyn. I'm not normally the type of person who loves super sweet scents or anything that's really floral, because to me, my nose doesn't like them. But for whatever reason, Ellis Brooklyn does them so well that I'm obsessed with them. I'm truly obsessed. Those are the scents from Ellis Brooklyn that I genuinely think you'll be obsessed with. And then I have one from Henry Rose that I feel like is one that will across the board be one people love, and it's called Windows Down. It smells so good. It wears so nicely. Again, wears really well on me. I am unbelievably impressed with that perfume. It's one that I like to layer with other scents, and it plays well with other scents that I have. I am just a really, really big fan of Henry Rose in general. Their scents they're all so nice, but Windows Down is one that I feel like is a universal love that so many would really, really like. And yeah, that's it for this video. That is it for my Credo Beauty sale recommendations. I would love to know down below. Do you have any recommendations for me? Because we got time. Tell me in the comments so I can buy some because I have a sickness and I love a sale. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.